I mean, that's shocking. Did you know that 80% of all New Year's resolutions are set to fail by February? Only 9% of people actually follow through until the end of the year. No wonder I'm not a big fan of them. So in today's video, we are going to talk about 6 steps you can implement to get ahead of 99% of athletes in 2025. But here's the catch. You can follow every single step laid out in this video. If you miss out on step number 6, nothing will happen. Been on this long road, still riding through all of these potholes, won't faze me. Also, just a quick note, these steps are not set in stone by any means. It's just something which worked pretty well for me in the past. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Step number 1 is that you pick a scary goal. And I just listened to a podcast the other day which really stuck with me. It was from Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jay Shetty. And Arnold said something along the line that without a clear vision, you are just floating around. And I think this is really important because in this example, Arnold obviously wanted to become the greatest bodybuilder of all time. And with that clear vision in mind, he could just take better decisions. So every single morning when he got up, he could ask himself, okay, this is what I have to do today. Is this something which brings me closer to my goal? If the answer is yes, then go for it. If the answer is no, yeah, let's do something else. But hold on, I don't think that you need a big of a vision as Arnold has. I think for most of us, clear goals can really help with that. And what I like to do is to use the SMART formula for goal setting. This is commonly used in the business world. I learned it back then when I studied, so actually it was quite good that I studied because I remember it. Yeah, anyways, so SMART goal setting basically means that a good goal has to check 5 different boxes. S for specific, M for measurable, A for attractive, R for realistic, and T for time bound. So let me give you a good and a bad example here. One of the most common goals I hear from athletes is that they want to become stronger. And while this is obviously measurable, it's attractive, and it's also quite realistic that you get stronger, we are completely missing that time domain and the specificness. I'm not sure if this is an English word, but let me break it down. So if you squat just 1 kg heavier, you already achieved that goal because you said you want to become stronger. But is that really inspiring? Not really. A better example is something along the line to say, hey, I want to squat 200 kg by the end of the year. It's actually one of my goals. To be honest, I have that goal for 3 years now. But it should be a scary goal. Okay, to sum it up, make your goal as detailed as possible because that makes it easier to focus and track your progress along the line. Okay, you all probably know the saying and can't hear it anymore, but a goal without a plan is just a wish. I mean, it's cliche, but it's completely right, isn't it? So step number 2 is to make a plan how to get there. Truth is, you can have the most inspiring goal in the world, but without an actual plan, you probably won't get any far. For example, let's take my goal of squatting 200 kg. I mean, if I don't put in the work and if I don't follow a dedicated strength program, nothing will happen. So I like to break it down step by step. And what I mean by that is we have to take our outcome goal, squatting 200 kg, and then we have to break it down into smaller process goals. My process goals for squatting 200 kg by the end of 2025 are squatting twice a week following the dedicated strength program on the TDG program. Number 2 is I want to do all provided leg accessories. And number 3 is I have to eat at least at calorie maintenance because I know there's a big correlation between what I eat and how strong I am. Also make sure that you choose process goals which you can check off on a weekly or even better daily basis because this is what keeps you going, especially when motivation goes down. Okay, for step number 3, I like to borrow a concept from a book which I read in February called The 12-Week Year. And as the name suggests, instead of setting yearly goals, we are breaking it down into quarterly goals. Why? Because those smaller time domains help to focus and help to create urgency. Remember when you had to do your homework until Friday and on Thursday evening you remembered and then did it in 30 minutes because you had to? The exact same concept over here. So what I like to do is I take my annual goal, then look at it and realistically say, hey, this is what I can achieve in the next 12 weeks. So for my 200 kg squat, at the moment I'm sitting around 190 kg. So realistically, I can maybe add 5 kg already in the first quarter. I know it's probably on the upper end, but I like to always pick a little bit more scarier goals, because then I know I will push myself a little harder. And then at the end of the cycle, I evaluate my progress and set my goal for the next 12 weeks. This is exactly why we work with 12-week cycles on the TDG programming. It helps you to stay adaptable and focus on like smaller chunks at a time. Okay, here it comes. Another one of those deep phrases for you, but also a good one. The best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The second best time is today. I mean, it's cliche, but it's true. Don't wait for Monday. Start today. Remember this. If you start today, progress starts today. If you start next week, progress starts next week. Okay, for step number 5, we'd like to switch things up. As of now, we talked a lot about goal setting. Let's look a little bit deeper into the training basics. So let me give you the most important training basics as kind of a quick fire thing. Okay, the first one on the gymnastics, strict before kipping. On the weightlifting side, we're looking for technique overload. You have to leave the ego at the door, earn your right to lift heavy. Compound lifts over fancy drills. I mean, I see a lot of people doing like those fancy drills. They need to set up their stations for like 10 minutes and then they do 3 sets and set up the next station for 10 minutes. Quality over quantity. I think a lot of people get one really important thing wrong here. The mentality goes like, I have to work harder, I have to do more because that equals more and faster progress. And that's actually far from true. If you can't make progress with 5 training days a week, 6 won't help. If you go 2 hours to the gym, but 40 minutes of it, you're talking to a friend and don't structure your training, then going to the gym for 1 hour, having a clear plan, knowing exactly what to do, what percentages to hit, how to attack a workout is definitely the better option. On the nutrition side, proper nutrition over supplements. It's crazy, Sophie gets so many questions. Do I have to take the creatine before or after training? How many grams of this and that? Get the basics right, focus on proper nutrition. It's called supplements because it should supplement your nutrition. On the recovery side, sleep over all those fancy massage guns and recovery tools. Sleep is honestly the #1 recovery protocol. Try to get at least 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Same thing over here, it's not the quantity, it's the quality. Then this is also really important. Training is not competing. Especially if you work out with someone else and you are more or less on the same level, then it's totally fine to have some friendly competition, but don't do it every day. Because if you compete every day, you're not training. Training means we're trying to learn or improve certain aspects of our training. Competing means you're trying to be more successful than someone else, and that's not the point of training. Okay, here we are, the last one, and in my opinion, the most important one of all 6 steps is consistency. Like I said at the beginning of the video, you can do step 1 to 5, but if you do it without consistency, nothing will happen. If you're consistent with something, meaning you're doing it on a daily, weekly, or at least regular basis, then chances are pretty high that you will improve over time. Now pair that with step 1 to 5, so having a clear goal. We need process goals along the line. Break it down into quarterly goals. Starting today and stick to the training fundamentals, and I'm 100% sure that you will crush 2025. Yeah, have a good start into 2025 and see you on the next one.